Hello everyone in Oneness. Thank you so much for watching this video. In Oneness, I'm Jessica Delmar. So for quite some time now, I've had sort of like the animal kingdom come through for me, especially the elephant. There's been a lot of elephant energy, and I knew that there was a message there that wanted to be relayed, but I haven't had time to really tap into the elephant energy or the animal kingdom energy until today. So in this video, I wanted to share the message that came through the very patient elephant and the animal kingdom, and the message that they had for us as humanity. So the very first thing that I connected to, because I felt this animal kingdom energy coming through, I closed my eyes, I saw a vision. I was in a black space, completely dark, and all of a sudden the elephant face comes through, shining in light. And then the next thing was the snake came through, and then the tiger, and it was like they were lining up, and then the giraffe, and then the lion, and then the antelope, the bear, cougar, beaver, spider, monkey, dog, cat, sloth, butterfly kingdom, birds. And the line of animals kept going down to where I couldn't see anymore. It was just running further and further down. And the elephant came through, and I just felt this energy of majesty. So everything came through in writing, so I'm just going to read what came through. I wrote, "The majestic elephant speaks for all of the animal kingdom. We are the ancient ones. We are you in another form. We walk between worlds. We exist upon Gaia to serve a multitude of purposes. We are at your service. We show the qualities of nature to help guide you on your path. But we are in the background for many of you. You have lost connection with who you truly are. We are here each and every day to help remind you of who you truly are. We are primal. We are the core. We are pure. We are you, stripped down of all forms of illusion. Watch as we coexist in harmony together. Watch as we take only what we need. Watch as we respect the boundaries of others. Watch as we look after our young. Watch as we choose mates to create life. Watch as we nurture our own. Watch as we experience pure joy in the simplicity of life. Watch as we honor the day and night. Watch as we are present in the still moments. Watch as we are present in our active moments. Watch as we exist in the now moment only. Watch as we honor the circle of life, death, birth, creation, and destruction. We are not attached to this physical plane. We understand what it means to transcend life on this physical plane. Our soul essence and energy transcends this physical plane, even in our experience of this physical plane." And I asked, "What do you mean by that?" And what came through is, the animalistic instinct that nature holds comes from an expanded consciousness that mostly exists within the now moment. We sense not only internally, but externally. We sense our physical aspect. We sense our tribe. We sense our space. We sense other nearby tribes. All is energy, and we are connected to an energetic field of consciousness that is much like the field of networks that connects you on your interwebs. Our interwebs are the interwebs of Gaia. She holds a network of energy in a field of consciousness that connects all living things, which includes plants, animals, insects, the ocean creatures, the land, the inner earth, the trees, the wind, the sky, the clouds, the sun, the moon, the water running through the land, the food that grows from the land, even people. Man-made things are not connected in this field of consciousness that connects all living things. But man-made things impacts this field of consciousness, much like twigs, branches, trees, and rocks can interrupt the seamless and gentle flow of water moving downstream. We sense other living things, so if a deer finds its way into the middle of a city, it's like a maze to get out. It senses its immediate surroundings and follows the scent, if you will, of the living network field of consciousness, but it's not easy to navigate to when there are many man-made objects in front of you. I asked, do you also sense man-made things? And what came through is yes. We sense man-made things as not part of the living network field of consciousness. They are like foreign objects in the body. We do not view it as good or bad, but just not connected to the field of consciousness that we connect to. The message that the animal kingdom would like to share with you today is that we are not adding a new living network field of consciousness upon Gaia, but that the human kingdom's field of consciousness is combining with the animal kingdom's field of consciousness. This is part of the upgrade that you are going through in your shift into New Earth 5D. Your new 5D crystalline vibrational structures that many of you are in the process of integrating right now will open you up into the living network field of consciousness that animals have been tapped into for many of your 3D years. The animal kingdom's field of consciousness will expand and upgrade as well, but there are some animals who have chosen to bridge the gap between the old and new fields of consciousness in order to help assist humans in a whole new way. These animals will bridge the living network field of consciousness that humans are moving into and that animals have already been a part of, but they will also connect to the animal kingdom's upgraded field of consciousness as well. They will simply move between the two. These animals will serve as the bridge of consciousness between human and animal, much like they always have. These animals who will serve as a bridge between the animal kingdom and the human kingdom are the animals that mostly connect with humans. These include the dog, cat, horse, bird, deer, cow, pig, rabbit, and the like. These animals will be able to more closely connect with humans in the living network field of consciousness that the humans are now moving into. Telepathy between human and animal companion will not be uncommon, and this is because you will be sharing the same field of consciousness. When we speak of the field of consciousness in this message, we are speaking about a default field of consciousness, if you will. The field of consciousness that a person is able to tap into, or any living being is able to tap into, is really unlimited, and there are many fields of consciousness that expands above, below, and beyond just your current field of consciousness that you can tap into. But most people will not do the work, nor want to tap into any other field of consciousness besides their default field of consciousness that they exist within. We are speaking about your collective's default field of consciousness as you move up in your ascension. The 3D default field of consciousness in your human collective was lower than the animal kingdom's field of consciousness existing upon your same plane and dimension. The 5D default field of consciousness will be upgraded to where the animal kingdom's field of consciousness once existed upon in your 3D field, but also much higher. The animal kingdom's field of consciousness within your 3D field of consciousness was somewhere between 4D and 5D, and for some animals much higher. Everything is leveling up in consciousness. The animal kingdom upon your planet are the way showers and light bearers for your path. We hold the knowledge of where you are headed because everything exists within your consciousness, just simply manifested into your physical reality. Animals were working with 5D consciousness within your 3D planet for a very long time. The only reason why animals were able to physically exist in 3D while holding consciousness in 5D and beyond was because animals work with the energy in much more simple, instinctual, and primal ways. Humans, on the other hand, work with energy in much more complex, divine, and mystical ways through your very complex mind and thought forms. You work with alchemy and manifestation and thought and purposefully playing with the energy. As you step into the field of consciousness that the animal kingdom once ruled upon your planet, you will work with the field in new, expansive ways. This will become your default field of consciousness that you play and manifest from. The animals and nature will also move into a whole new, expanded field of consciousness that will create a new lighthouse for humans to look towards for expansion. There are many opportunities for learning and expansion that can be found within the animal kingdom in your present and past 3D experiences and consciousness. As you learn from your fellow animal kingdom that you coexist with, you are learning the core aspects of the 5D realm of consciousness. In many ways, your ascension is a breaking down of walls and inner structures that prevented you from sensing the connectedness of the greater living network field of consciousness. This is your natural, instinctual, primal state of being, connected back to what we've been talking about, returning to innocence. But you have put up energetic concrete walls that prevent you from finding your way out of the maze, much like that deer stuck in the city. But now the walls are coming down, and you will again see what you were always sensing the entire time, but have forgotten. We, the animal kingdom, have been holding this field of consciousness for you to return back into and use as a launching point for you to jump into the next area of expansion on your way into 5D. We will continue holding greater fields of consciousness for you to jump into. It is our honor and our purpose to serve as light holders for you to find your way. We hold keys to your ascension and knowledge to help your path, and we are eager to share with anyone who desires. Connect with us through our soul energy. That is tapping into the living network field of consciousness. We are not animals living separate from you on Gaia, but we are connected to you through soul energy. Our strengths are your strengths. Our instincts are your instincts. Our weaknesses are your weaknesses. And here, weakness, the word, is just a word that I chose to use here, but it felt more like an energy that just balanced out the energy of strength. Our knowledge is your knowledge. Our energy is your energy. Pick and choose what strengths, weaknesses, knowledge, energy, and instincts you want to connect to, and you will bring life of our soul energy into yours. Most greatly, we look forward to reuniting with you, our brothers and sisters in life on this planet Gaia, in a field of consciousness where we coexist together in harmony and balance. So that was kind of the ending of the message, but I wanted to dive a little bit further because they had explained that there are many opportunities for learning and expansion that can be found within the animal kingdom. And I kind of wanted to bring an example forward for us to really understand a little bit deeper. What came through is, let's bring understanding to one example in the animal kingdom because there are plenty. Let's take the lion and the gazelle for an example. The lion offers energy of strength, and the gazelle offers energy of weakness. Again, the term weakness is not necessarily weakness, it's just energy that balances out the energy of strength. Let's open our consciousness to both the lion and the gazelle. The lion has a family and a sense of responsibility to provide food for its family. So when the instinct takes over to find food, the lion will go out and hunt for food. The gazelle's instincts are keen and on the lookout for predators such as the lion. The gazelle, tapped into the living network field of consciousness, is connected to the energy of the lion so that the gazelle can sense when the lion is near. The gazelle knows and understands the circle of life, which is birth, life, and death. And the lion also understands the circle of life. And in mutual understanding of the circle of life, the lion and the gazelle dance, a divine dance of experiencing the intricacies of the playing out of the circle of life. In this particular dance, the lion wins life and the gazelle wins death. There is no losing side, but simply a playing out of the grander dance of the circle of life. There is energy of surrender and energy of strength, and not either is greater than the other. Winning is not in the energy of animals or nature. Simply being and opening energy to outcome is how nature evolves. Putting the ego in the back seat and witnessing life play out in perfect unfolding, you will witness life in a state of purity and innocence untapped by ego. Instead of ego, the field of consciousness in 5D is simply a state of being, not attached to outcome, but open to unfolding. And in the state of unfolding is both surrender and strength, because a balance of both energies are needed in understanding the circle of life. The lion and the gazelle, in the merging of their energy, in their divine dance, is ego-less, but rather completely open to the unfolding. If the lion outweighs the gazelle surrenders. If the lion is not able to outweigh the gazelle, the lion surrenders. In this divine dance is mutual strength and surrender merged together, not about winning or losing, but about surviving in faith of the unfolding. In understanding this divine dance of the lion and the gazelle, there is so much to be learned and much to be integrated. For greater understanding opens greater expansion in consciousness and awareness. Next, I wanted to kind of dive a little bit deeper into the relationship between animals and humans because, there's a lot of unrighteousness or injustice when it comes to animals. I myself am a huge animal lover, and it's actually probably the main catalyst that helped further my expansion and my ascension is my compassion for animals and really being awakened to the injustice between animals and humans. And so I kind of just wanted to dive a little bit deeper and see what the animal kingdom had to say about this injustice. And what came through is there is also greater understanding that can be made in the interaction between humans and the animal kingdom, especially when unrighteous acts occur. We speak about the killing of elephants for their prized tusks, as well as animals unjustly slaughtered for food, as well as many other instances of injustice regarding animals at the hands of humans. Animals and humans have agreed to coexist together upon Gaia. In most ways, animals and nature surrender to the acts of humans. Animals and nature serve as a type of lamppost for humans to connect to who they truly are. Putting humans in charge, so to speak, over nature was not something Gaia wanted, but something Gaia agreed to because of her love for humans. Gaia ultimately compromised because she knew that she had the upper hand, is what came through, as Gaia in control of other greater natural forces. And at this point, I had a vision of the greater weather patterns, for example. The existence of life upon Gaia is not random, but thoughtfully laid out. Everything serves a greater purpose in the wholeness that is Gaia's experience. When humans use their power to overtake animals and nature, Gaia does not agree, but cannot control humans. She loves from afar and unconditionally, much like a mother loving a child, even when the child does wrong. Gaia's consciousness is beyond what you can fathom from a human perspective and is not able to put into words. Gaia's greater consciousness explains much of why and how things have played out in the greater scheme of things. There is such a greater purpose and understanding to the chaos than anyone in their human minds can imagine. Gaia is experiencing everything occurring on and within her, as well as without her, and it's all contributing to her greater expansion of consciousness as well. Surrendering into the greater purpose that is unfolding is surrendering to knowing that all is truly well. Animals, humans, and nature coexist upon Gaia. They are like three roommates to the same house, but humans have been dominating the other two roommates. There is a greater energetic dynamic between the three roommates, much like there is a greater energetic dynamic between the lion and the gazelle. The animal kingdom, which includes insects and animals and water creatures and the sort, teaches the circle of life. It also teaches unconditional love, instincts, community participation, and coexistence in harmony with each other and nature. The nature kingdom, which includes plants and rocks and crystals and water and the sort, teaches patience, greater unfolding, trusting in the process, cycles, knowing that all is truly well, and the existence in no time. The human kingdom teaches thought, mind, emotions, decision-making, and finding greater purpose in existing. The human kingdom is also unique in that it can embody all three energy dynamics from all three roommates if it's able to find balance within. However, the dynamics of the three roommates are shifting in your shifting of vibration into 5D. All three roommates will find balance of all three within, meaning the animal kingdom will find balance of all three roommates within, the nature kingdom will find balance of all three roommates within, and the human kingdom will find balance of all three roommates within as well. This will shift the dynamics of the three roommates in drastic ways, and a new earth will ensue because of this. Do not stand in the static energy of injustice within your collective consciousness, but rejoice at the change that is in the wind. Change in the wind can only manifest if your energy is being directed in the avenues of hope, love, and desire for greater changes to be made in the energy of light. Do not feed the energy of injustice, nor drown in the hopelessness and misery that is birthed from its energy. Open greater understanding of the purposes that the injustices in your world are showing you. And in greater understanding always opens greater consciousness, expansion, and awareness. And that's what needed to come through from the animal kingdom, led by the majestic elephant. Thank you so much for watching this video. There's a lot of opportunity and teachings to be had in our experience, awareness, and observation of nature and the animals that we coexist with. And in our ascension process, expanding our consciousness, opening up into this new field of consciousness by default, then it's going to open us up into connecting to animals in this new expansive way. And we'll see how that unfolds. Thank you everyone for watching this video. Together with you in oneness, I'm Jessica Delmar. Oneness and love be with you.